Just think about it this way, folks. Donald Trump's stump speech for the highest office in our land, where politicians are supposed to talk about what they are going to do for we the people. Donald Trump spends almost the entire speech talking about how he's not cognitively impaired, how he takes cognitive exams all the time. He then mocks President Biden's physical appearance or mocks the fact that President Biden has a lifelong stutter. And then Donald Trump starts to glitch himself, and then he does like a weird dance, and then he walks off the stage. Do not normalize this. And we will not normalize it here at the MeidasTouch Network. So let's take a look what just went down in Rome, Georgia, in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, where Donald Trump gave a speech over the weekend. First, he talks about being a crumb or something. Play this clip.
Crime-ridden nation, we have become a nation like nobody thought possible.
Then he struggles to say the word compliment. Play the clip.
All compliments of an incompetent.
Then he talks about how he is a political appointment of President Biden. Play this clip.
That's why they're weaponizing law enforcement for high-level election interference against Joe Biden's top and only political appointment, a guy named me. It's a guy named me.
Then there's another cognitive glitch. Play this clip.
By far the most disgraceful part of Joe Biden's service is the divisive and angry speech.
And then Donald Trump starts to mock President Biden stuttering, and that's how Donald Trump is behaving in this crowd. I mean, just think about the lack of any morals, the lack of any values. Just think about this in terms of just character. So sickening to see this lack of character. I don't care about political party. This is a lack of character. And you need to have character for the highest office in the land. Here, play this clip.
2 nights ago, we all heard Crooked Joe's angry, dark, hate-filled rant of a State of the Union address. Didn't it bring us together? Remember, he said, I'm going to bring the country together. I'm going to bring it.
Then Donald Trump brags about his relationship with Putin. He says he's got a great relationship with Putin. Play the clip.
When Trump was president, there were none of these problems. Israel wouldn't have been attacked. Ukraine and Russia wouldn't be fighting. I knew Putin. I know him very well. There was no way he was going in.
And Trump talks. By the way, you thought I know you watch the MeidasTouch Network all the time, so if you thought, oh, Ben, you're saying all of these things. No, this is what he does in his speech. Then he talks about how he's not cognitively impaired. Not cognitively impaired. Not cognitively impaired. Play this clip.
The fake news says, he doesn't know the name of our president. He doesn't know it's Joe Biden. He must be cognitively impaired.
You know, it reminds me of other speeches where when he talks about Stormy Daniels, who he had sex with once and then covered it up before the 2016 election and then hid it as legal payments. You know, he goes in the speech as part of his speech, right? He goes, no affair with Horseface. No affair. Horseface. Here, play this clip.
To bring charges against me for now ancient no affair story of Stormy Horseface Daniels. No attraction. No affair. I call it no affair. Where there is no crime anyway.
I mean, obviously that was at a different speech than the one in Rome, Georgia, but it's like, this is what the Republican, what? Like, this is the Republican Party? What the heck is that? The hell is that? Then he goes and talks about how he interposes and fake names on purpose. He goes, I go, Barack Hussein Obama. And I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, this is the least normal crap like ever. Do not give this person the nuclear codes. Here, play this clip.
And I use his name instead of, and I say, our president, Barack Hussein Obama, meaning who's calling the shots. Does everyone sort of understand it? The fake news says, he doesn't know the name of our president. He doesn't know it's Joe Biden. He must be cognitively impaired. I'm not cognitively. And you know what? When I am, you're going to know it. You're going to be the first people. I know my people. You'll say, all right, Trump, you did a good job. Get the hell out of here. That's it. That's it.
More on that. He talks more about, I mix names. You better be careful when you mix the names. Play this clip.
Crazy. So I have to be very careful. I can't be sarcastic. Can't be fun. You can't mix names. Purposely mix names. You know, purposely.
Then he thinks he's running against Ron DeSantis still. So he attacks Ron DeSantis. Like, you're attacking Ron DeSantis right now? You know, normally you're after the primaries, you're supposed to like reach out to those voters. But no, he thinks he's still in the primary, I guess, and he's attacking DeSantis. Play this clip.
I'd love to come over and make amends. You know, I've always felt you were the best candidate. I think you're fantastic. You know, people that were with the sanctimonious, they were with other people. Well, I'm not going to use that name anymore. It's not respectful. Let's call him Ron DeSantis.
Here he just seems like, very confused. Play this clip.
Pundits and inside sources say that the attacks on me will be violent. They say that it's violent. The attacks, Biden said it. He said, you know what their whole plan is? It was just released the other day. No, it was leaked.
Then Donald Trump talks about how he says that the issue with building a pier in Gaza is, he says, the bad guys are then going to sell things to people with no money. They're going to sell things to people with no money. What are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
There's no tying up, but here's the problem. The bad guys will take over that pier and they'll take every ounce of food and everything else, and then they'll sell it to people that have no money and that it was intended for. We have the stupidest people in the history of our country running things. These are stupid people.
Can I just show you this part for a second? You know, I had the opportunity in our pre-coverage of the State of the Union to speak to Second Gentleman Douglas Emhoff. Here's what he had to say about Donald Trump. I think he sums it up quite nicely. Play the clip. Final question. Trump's rhetoric recently has become just so increasingly dangerous and unhinged, I guess, by any standards. How do you get the message out there that Trump is unfit for office?
Yeah, that guy cannot be a million miles from the White House. Let's be honest. He cannot come back. He is a degraded version of the horrible person he was before. He's even worse now. He can't get anywhere near the White House. We have to remind people what it was like under that first administration, how horrible it was. All these things he's bragging about did not happen. Remind people what it was like, and remind people of the dereliction of duty during COVID. Hundreds of thousands of people in our country unnecessarily died because of the policies or lack thereof of the Trump administration in those early days of COVID. We've got to remind people that Donald Trump incited an insurrection against the Capitol, where I'm about to be at. He continued to lie, continues to lie to this day about the 2020 election, which he lost by a lot. We have to remind people about the threat of this person, his incompetence, and what life would be like, how horrible life would be like for all of us if that man somehow would come back here. And we're going to do everything we can to prevent that.
And as we talk about character, remember this moment where President Biden comforted a young boy who had a stuttering problem? Play this clip.
What's your name?
Owen, this is my son, Braden.
Hey, Braden, how are you, man?
We're here because he stutters and we wanted to hear you speak.
Oh, man, come on. I tell you what, don't let it define you.
Oh,
you are smart as hell. Now, you really are. You can do that. Can I get a phone number for you and I can tell you what I used to do and how I would do it? Can you take his phone? Because there's about 25 stutterers I continue to work with.
Get up here, so.
And I can tell you the things that help me. I know, by the way, the hardest thing is talking on the telephone. So I don't expect you to be able to. But when I stuttered, I used to talk like this. And it took a lot of practice, but I promise you can do it. I promise you. And don't let it define you. You're handsome, you're smart, you're a good guy. I really mean it. Don't let it define you. And you know when I say I know about bullies, you know about bullies. The kids who make fun, it's going to change, honey, I promise you.
So judge for yourself. I show you the clips. Make an assessment for yourself. Character matters. And I think this election, it's not like a Democrat v. Republican, liberals and progressives v. conservatives. No, it's just about pro-democracy, normalcy, intelligence, facts, truth, empathy, character, versus whatever the heck that was. Wannabe fascism, attacking NATO, disgustingly mean, demeaning. Character matters. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Have a wonderful day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.